This is a Headgum podcast.
I'll give you the option of telling where you want to sit, chair, or...
This feels good.
All right, how are you?
I feel good. I feel great.
Did you just have some mouthwash?
I just ate a mint when I got
Oh,
out of my car.
okay.
Do you need
Are
one?
we dating?
Oh.
No, I do not.
I didn't know how close the chairs would be.
You tell me if I need one. All right, all right. Let me do the chair then. What is this?
Cheese.
What the fuck?
Someone sat in your chair and ate a log of cheese.
Sorry. Casey.
Yeah, it was Casey. I don't know why you apologize like it was you.
Look at this.
Listen, we have a lot of
I've been
disgusting
sitting here.
comedians in here every single day. I'll take that.
On lunch breaks, are you like, I'm David, look at me eat my cheese.
How rude. Derrick, I apologize for this.
It wouldn't happen in New York, but...
No. The New York crew is a lot more. These guys are so
Max?
yeah, it's like I don't know if it's an LA thing or it's just shitty. It's just shitty.
I get it. I feel it.
Okay. We know when we're all. How's it going? Where are you living out here? You're back here, right?
I'm in Studio City now with my girlfriend.
I like her. What was her name?
Jen.
Or is her name? Jen. Yes.
Yeah, she's great.
And you're still together.
Yes.
Is this a record?
Oh, I told her, I was like, hey, at some point you're going to get sick of me being broke because you're a lawyer and you have money. She's like, no, I love you. And I was like, I'm going to give you 6 months.
How long have you all been going out now?
A year.
A year.
Yeah.
That's good. Getting close to a record.
Yeah. Well, I think 4 years is the record.
Um,
Longest. JB, Amanda.
JB. Yeah.
I just talked to her yesterday.
How's she doing? Excuse me.
Full-time mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wait, I remember listening to the Scott Aukerman episode, and they just let the whole thing run before it started. And is that happening right now?
It's happening right now. It's happening as we speak. Do you want to bleep anybody's name out?
Yeah, let's replace it with someone famous' name. Scarlett Johansson.
That would be pretty good. We just how's Scarlett Johansson doing?
Busy, very busy.
All right, so how's it going? Yeah, we started.
Great. It's going really good. Running the publishing company, doing shows.
Let people know what your publishing company is.
Yes, I'm doing Right Bloody Publishing and comedy shows, running a comedy show in Burbank
Oh, I didn't know that.
called You Blew It. It's a new show. I got a comedy debate show.
Is it themed, thematic? You blew it, or just that's a title?
Well, we show pictures that we hunt down from their Instagram from a long time ago, and we either drill them or give them a thumbs up, and then they do a set.
Oh, that's I like that.
Yeah, at the nightcap. So that's
Yeah.
pretty fun. And then joined a soccer team.
Really?
Yeah.
You're
It's
like
hard.
one of the most unathletic people I know.
It's not true. I lost weight for this podcast so that I could come on here and show you how good I looked.
And then when did you put it back on? Right before you
Right
walked in?
beforehand.
Yeah.
I was,
that was the mint.
I was like, oh,
It's
he's
a very fatty mint.
He's going to think I'm trying very hard.
So you're playing soccer.
Yeah, I'm a goalie.
Oh, goalie. That makes more
It's
sense.
not easy.
That
It's
makes
not easy.
way more
it's
sense.
the hardest job.
I'm not saying it isn't, but I just can't picture you running up and down a field
But
for 90 minutes.
If you're too skinny, it's not intimidating. So I was like,
Right.
I need to keep it.
That sounds like fun, actually.
It's really fun. It's like full uniform.
You got the crazy monster gloves.
Referees. I got the big gloves. I get hurt every time.
Do you get hurt like falling or
Diving, yeah.
Diving,
You know, everyone crashes into the box and then I scream a lot.
are the other players good?
Pretty good, yeah. I mean, 2 teams, one's 48 and up and one's 18 and up. So the 18 and up is more brutal.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, a
I
bunch
am the
of
oldest
48-year-olds
guy. I'm the oldest guy.
are not, they're not, that's probably a slower paced game, I'm imagining.
It is, and that one's
a lot of
comforting.
substitutions.
It's very comforting.
Yeah. Where do you play?
It bounces around Griffith Park, Van Nuys.
Do they have a pitch in Griffith Park, or do you kind of make it your own?
It's on the edge. It's
Oh,
on
really?
The edge, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
I didn't
full
know that.
referees, people fighting, slide tackling.
Wow.
It's pretty great.
Are there any flops like the?
No one's flopped.
Oh man,
I think the shame. For Americans, the shame is too great.
That's surprising. I would think Americans would
flopping all the time.
Yeah. Oh man, there are a few things better than a ridiculous soccer flop.
Yeah, especially when you get a card for it.
Yeah, they're so funny. And then the dramatics and the histrionics, like what,
the rolling around.
Oh yeah, the grabbing a knee and wincing and crying. Oh man, it's the best. And then, and it happens in basketball too. Not nearly as much, but like you remember, like Bill Lambier and Danny Ainge. Remember those guys?
Yeah,
and they
hated Lambier.
Yeah, and he, but those guys would flop all the time, and they'd pretend that they got elbowed or something, and then they'd replay it, and the guy's like 3 feet away from them.
Yeah,
they're diving.
Yeah, I hate that. That's part of the strategy of the game is to sell it, to be an actor.
Yeah,
but so when you're old, you just go down all the time.
You just go down. I mean, then everybody buys it. Like this guy, if a mosquito lands on you, you'll be screaming. Yeah. You don't even have yellow cards or red cards.
Right.
It's just sympathy cards.
Mercy. Yeah. Get well cards.
Yeah, get well cards. What does your pin say?
I got rich off of poetry.
It's
a little joke.
Yeah, no, you don't have any money.
He liked it.
Yeah, we get it. You're not the first poet I've had on.
Russ Tamblyn?
Is he a poet? Not really.
No.
He's a collage artist, an actor, and now an author.
Yeah.
Have you read his book?
No. I listened to part of it when you had him on here,
Mm-hmm.
where you're talking about how much pussy he gets or got.
Well, some of that. Yeah, I don't know.
Now that he wrote a book.
I don't know if Bonnie's going to take to that, but well, what I was saying was I know some stories that didn't make it in the book because it's just a story about getting laid. There's not
there's no moral.
But man, that guy, his stories, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jesus, what a life.
Yeah.
What a life his dick has had.
It's all tired. Did he tell you the story about how one scene in West Side Story is a year after that? I love it.
It's when they're coming around the corner.
Yeah.
It's the opening number.
Yeah.
And at some point the camera cuts and they've been walking and then they come around a corner. I think there's a fence there or something. That was a year later.
And they rebuilt that
Yeah.
yard in Brooklyn in LA.
Yeah.
And everyone's a year older for a little bit. I love that so much.
Yeah. Well, they had to fire the director got fired, I think, or the choreographer. Somebody got fired midway.
Oh.
Yeah. That's his story. I'm not going to tell his half-ass paraphrase and get everything wrong, his story. That's his story. But the book is, it's good. Like I don't know if you met Sarah, the woman he wrote it with, who kind of, she did an amazing job. It's good. It's, and I am aware that I'm coming off as if I'm surprised, but I am surprised. And
is that your blurb on the back of the book?
Yeah. It's actually good. No, I really it's I didn't read the whole thing. I read before I was coming out here to do the show with him. Amber sent me like galley copy PDFs, and I read 4 chapters, and it's good. It's because I remember what it was like before he got the other writer he collaborated with.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. So it
Is,
came up quite a bit.
is the other poet Amber Tamblyn?
Yes. There you go.
How'd she do?
Not good. I would say it's the least favorite episode for literally everybody. Myself, the staff, the listeners.
I'm a little worried that if I don't break 1,000 views, I'll be the last poet that Headgum allows on this podcast.
The fuck Headgum. It's me. They're not making the fucking.
They're the ones who sent me all the
editorial.
emails saying, "What film were you in to promote?" And I was like, "No film." And then they were like worried.
They don't send emails saying, "What film do you want to promote?"
Can you give us a list of TV appearances you've recently had? And I was like, none. And they're like,
That's not true,
I
did
think
they?
they're worried about it. So I'm worried about it.
Don't fuck them. No, I'm disappointed to hear that, you guys.
Didn't happen. But
Didn't happen.
It actually
Okay.
did not happen.
Okay, good. But what for real? What film do you have to promote?
New horror film
Yeah.
coming out. It's called The Gap. It's a retail horror film.
Yeah.
Comes out in December.
Oh, retail, not retelling of a heart. Retail.
A retelling of a retail horror
a
film.
retelling of a retail horror film.
Yes.
So is it based on the Old Navy?
It is, but it's the tagline is not only the prices get gouged, and then ...
Did you work up that bit before you
I
came out?
did not
here?
at all. That's why it's not so good.
That's pretty good for coming right up. That seems like yesterday you were walking around like, oh, I know what I'll do on David's podcast. I'll do it.
I did email you. I was like, hey, should we do a bit? And you're like, oh yeah, that's an old email.
I felt bad because you really worked out this whole thing with
some
the
dialogue
and everything. And I'm like, oh, buddy.
You're like, oh yeah, we're just going to talk. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God.
Which does remind me, Anya and Casey, I have to redo that cover letter that goes out to people. I don't think anyone's gonna go to the lengths Derrick did to write a 5-page.
Hodgman didn't have a bit.
5-page sketch.
When you choose the 45-second clip for YouTube, can it be him talking about the cover letter from this podcast?
I think it should just be me talking
Highlight.
about Russ.
Yes, and me like
father-in-law.
this. Mhm. I'm sure it's good.
It's gonna get warm. Are you gonna be warm in that all black outfit? Because it's supposed to go up to 75 today.
I'm gonna have a show tonight, so these are my show clothes. But I am going to take this jacket off when we're out of the AC.
Got it. Makes sense.
Unless you want it off now.
Nope. What's your show tonight?
Show tonight's in Silver Lake at In the Meantime. It's poetry, comedy,
We're
and
in
music.
Silver Lake right now. We're in Silver Lake.
Well, I'm hoping this airs in a few minutes. And then I could get some bodies to the show. I'm not sure your timeline.
Will you talk to yourself in the future and let me know how the show went tonight?
Yes. Right now, talk to me in the future.
Yeah.
To let you know how it was.
How the show was.
Okay,
the
great.
show you're doing tonight, how it was. How did it go?
Not as many bodies as I was hoping for.
Mhm.
A little more crying than was expected.
Oh, so you did expect some crying.
I expected a little bit of crying, but not the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
You or the audience?
The audience. So
Oh, man.
you start out with one grief poem, and then you try and go into
Oh,
your meatloaf
it's
jokes.
poetry. It's not jokes.
It's both. It's
It's
poetry, comedy, and music. And then
wow.
started with the poems, which was a bad idea. And then
Oh,
no one
that's
laughed at
the
anything.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah. And people are sobbing and
Yes.
and
So
they're
next time I'll start
questioning everything. They're
Right.
questioning existentialist questions about what are they even doing there?
Yeah.
What is laughter? Why?
Yeah.
Why would we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time, I'm just not going to do any poetry at all. It's just going to be all comedy and music.
Well, you can do some of your poems are really funny. The one about where you're tell me that it's from the last book. The cop
The one where the cop is
is
just a
fucking
great
awesome.
guy.
Yeah. I love that poem.
Yeah, the plot.
I want to tell people. I feel compelled to say this because before I met my wife and thus you and you know you and your ilk, I had a negative connotation about poetry.
Had you been to a poetry show in Atlanta or anything before you met Amber?
No. The only thing actually, that's not true. When poetry slams were a thing, and remember, God, who's that? There was that terrible. One of my favorite pictures of me is at Lollapalooza. There was like a comedy spoken word tent.
Oh yeah.
And Maggie Estep, who was kind of the face of slam poetry, kind of punky, whatever. And I really have a strong dislike of that kind of delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like this and the way that they talk and Katrina and
jazz voice.
And I can't stand it. And I did I followed Maggie Estep, and then I just did my impression of her. And I'm stomping around the crowd, and it was a really funny picture at Lollapalooza performing.
Wait, you were right after she performed,
literally,
and then you did your version of a slam poet after her? Oh my God. What'd she say?
Nothing. I don't remember, so I'm guessing she didn't say anything, and she might have been pissed. I don't know. She might have been flattered. Who knows? But it wasn't flattering because I couldn't stand it. So that is to say, my concept of poetry was pretty, because of ignorance, narrow. Yeah. And I thought, I'm not going to go to a fucking poetry show or varying people with, dreads, whatever their skin color is, up there going like, and Ronald Reagan decided, all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, so
and it was like that style was all over the world. At that
I know. That's all I knew. But then, I ended up falling in love with a poet, and I tried not to. But
did I tell you what she said to me after she took you to the first show?
No,
she said
because it wasn't. It was at that bar in 13th Street.
Bar 13, in Union Square. Or near there. And she goes, Derrick, I need you to do a show in New York because David went to, what year was this? 2006? I don't know.
That sounds about right. No. 2008. Oh, no, 2006, because she was in the pilot for Todd Margaret. Yes, 2006.
And
God damn, we've been together a long time.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't give it this long. But I'm impressed. But she said that David said, I don't know if I can do this. And I was like, go to poetry shows? No, like be with me because he doesn't think he could ever go to a show like that again.
It was bad.
Can you put on a show in Brooklyn sometime? So I was like, yeah, I'll invite you guys. And then I think I invited you to do a bit at that show.
Well, you did a show at that kind of weird, like it's kind of like a little pretentious. It's like a house or something. Remember?
Oh yeah, the Norwood.
The Norwood,
a private club.
Yeah,
that reached out and said we're trying to do more cool.
It was
comedy
weird.
and poetry.
I mean, the show was good, but then so I saw you and I saw Mindy Nettifee and I saw, oh God, there's that one guy who was really funny. Like
Osea?
No, kind of a
Bucky Sinister.
No, it's not anybody I've hung out with since. It wasn't. Bucky's very funny. I didn't know comedy could be funny like that. I didn't know that.
Or poetry, yeah.
I'm sorry, poetry. I just didn't know that was a thing. And then there's some really funny, and funny enough so that when I did, I curated the comedy stage at one of All Tomorrow's parties, things, and I had you on there, you and the band backed you up, and it was, I'd say that was the highlight of the show for the audience, not me, not John Benjamin, not Glazer, but you guys.
That was a turning point in my life where I was doing comedy shows and doing poetry, and you're like, oh, just do it together. It's fine. And I was nervous. I was so scared. I think we both got very drunk.
Yeah. I certainly did.
And
I think Eugene had a bottle of whiskey.
That's right.
He brought a large bottle of whiskey. And
then Amber's always like, "We're doing shots," and it was super fun. And I was like, "I'm just going to do that from now on." And
it was great.
It's been hard. It's been hard because people are like, "I don't want to book a poet on my comedy show who's going to like."
I get it, but that's because I was that person, up until I got exposed to. Oh, excuse me. That's Amber. Let's see. She says,
"Ask him."
Yeah, that's bullshit. Okay, I don't blame you, phony. Now a lot of people don't know this, and I'm going to say most people alive today do not know, and I'm by most I mean almost 100%. I'm talking literally every Chinese person, most of Greenland, Texas. No, actually, people in Texas know, but a lot of people, most people don't know that you officiated Amber and I's wedding.
More people know that than they know my work. More photos have circulated of me from those leaked photos than of me on stage doing a set, which is pretty cool. So I'm grateful. I think I killed at that set.
I think we all did a great job.
I think we all did a great job. Amber wasn't as funny, but that's fine.
And do you remember? So Amber and Russ, her dad, we got married up in upstate near where we live up there.
Yeah.
Beautiful, right on the Delaware River. And Amber and Russ, it was, we're launching from about like a half mile up the river, not too far up, and then we're waiting. It was all kind of, I came down, you were there, and it was all supposed to go pretty smoothly.
Violin was playing, I think.
Yeah, Emily was playing, Emily Wells, and we're waiting, and then we kind of milked some comedy from there because we truly thought, I think people thought it was a bit, but it wasn't. Where the fuck is Amber? And Amber said, I don't know if you know this, because they're supposed to be going down the river, and Russ is supposed to be paddling, and he's taking his phone. He's not doing anything. He's sitting there, and he's got his phone, and he's taking video of the mountains. And she turns, she's like, "Dad, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to row us there." "Oh, okay."
I remember looking down the river. She was in her yellow dress, and I remember her being pissed at him and then turning on angel face while she was rowing it closer to the shore. I was like, "Oh, I wonder what they're arguing about. This is exciting."
I love that. Yeah. It's so Russ too. Like, you have one thing you're supposed to do is just row the boat, and she's sitting there like, "Why aren't we going faster?" Then finally turns around and he's doing nothing but taking pictures of the mountain.
Yeah.
What they're waiting for us. I'm getting married.
I also remember this fun bit where John Benjamin
was a rabbi.
Stood up as a rabbi to curse that this wedding was happening on ground where so many children were buried.
So yes, so what we did, we had planned was the Amber got there, her dad walked her there in China, her sister, and the Vivian, the flower girl, whatever. Yeah. And we had Ollie, our dog, as the ring bearer. And then we just, you said, "I now pronounce you man and wife." And then we had, "This is how we do it," play.
A 30-second.
And then we ran up. So there was no real wedding. And then, people started to applaud.
That's right.
And then John, full rabbi outfit, with the payas and the Strommel hat. It was like, "No, this is a degradation. Don't, how dare you?" And because we got married at a Jewish kids camp, Camp Tel Yehuda, and Tel is mountain. So we were, it was. He got up and it was. You thought it was about the fakeness of the marriage, but it was about that the too many Jews were buried there.
To do a wedding. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That was fun. Also, you had many celebrities were there, but you also hired fake celebrity impersonators
Yes.
to mingle among the real celebrities.
Yeah,
And
well,
not
I mean,
top-notch celebrity
no, this is an
impersonators.
old thing going back to Mr. Show where we had rap parties every year after, Mr. Show, and I had this idea, and this is such a good Bob and David combo. I had this idea, hey, let's get a Michael Jackson impersonator and just have him there to mill around and talk to people. And then Bob came up with the genius idea of let's get two of two different eras and don't tell them about it. And I was like, that's brilliant. So we, at our rap parties, we had Michael Jackson when we had the bad era, and then we had the Thriller era of Michael Jackson. They didn't know about each other, and they were bummed. They were bummed. They were not happy.
Bummed.
They were not happy at all. And then
Because one probably looks way better than the other.
they had their song. They were just they didn't understand, and I don't blame them. They didn't know about Mr. Show. They didn't know what it was a comedy show or anything. So they're paid, and we paid them for an hour, and you have to do this, and you have to go up to people and sing and stuff. And then we did it another year with Jim Carrey impersonators. We got a Ace Ventura version and a mask version of Jim Carrey.
God.
And then when I did David Cross and Super Pals at Irving Plaza, I paid a guy to do Austin Powers, but he couldn't tell anyone that he was hired.
He was.
He had to go up, and I said, you have to say, do I make you horny, baby, to everyone.
With the accent.
And you have to mingle. And people were like, who the fuck is this asshole? Because I had him in line to pay and go in. So with that idea, I got, and we're, in the middle of nowhere. We're up in the woods.
Can I say who the celebrities were? Because I was shocked.
The impersonators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the fake celebrities.
Yeah.
From yesteryear, Jackie Gleason.
Yep. As Ralph Cramden.
Yeah. Fran Drescher.
Yep. As the nanny.
And Lil Jon.
And Lil Jon, who and I paid them each to spend an hour going up to people. And the best part is, there are very famous people there.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who looks like Lil Jon with a big gold cup going, hey, what does he yell?
Okay.
Yeah, he's going up like.
Yeah, he broke when I was with him, with Lil Jon. Did I tell you this?
No.
So I was with a very famous poet who's now passed, Jack Hirschman. And Jack Hirschman's very old and very earnest and sweet. And Lil Jon came up and says, all right, skeet, skeet, skeet. And Jack Hirschman goes, what was your name? And he goes, you know me, dog. And he goes, I don't think I caught your name. And he goes, it's me, Lil Jon. And he goes, oh, are you a poet? And he goes, no, I'm not. I'm Lil Jon, Lil Jon.
The cup, the chalice, Hey! Oh man, that was great. I love shit like that. I love just a random guy dressed like Ralph Cramden.
That wedding was so
going,
fun.
Oh, to the moon, Alice.
We played flag football, and Ryan Reynolds, not to drop names, was on the opposing flag football team, and John Benjamin was our quarterback. Much better arm than Ryan Reynolds.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I didn't know he was so good.
Or that Ryan was so bad.
We're so bad, yeah.
How about I'm like so jealous of it. Like, how about the brilliant idea that Ryan and Rob McElhenney had of let's buy a sports team and it'll be a write-off.
And let's start at the bottom and create a hero story and document it.
Well, that's all part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes it viable. But it's like, if you're like, you know what, I'd like to own a sports team, but I don't want to pay for it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will always respect that.
Oftentimes when we go out for a beer, you'll buy the beer. When you go out for a beer with him, are you like, you've clearly got this?
I haven't been out with him. The last time I hung out one-on-one, God, that was like when we were in Copenhagen, I think.
I wonder if he gets sick of that. If he's like, someone buy me some shrimp.
Do you know about the we went to Noma, Blake and Ryan and Amber and I went to which was then the number one restaurant in the world, and it was an amazing experience. I've had better tasting food, but the night, and you're there for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah,
really
that's
cool, really cool. But there's a picture of us eating a live shrimp. So they take a shrimp and they freeze it so that it's still alive, but it won't. It's immobile. But my shrimp started twitching and jumping around.
Like it wanted to live?
Yes. You're supposed to just take it and eat it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like that scene in Old Boy where you're eating the live thing.
But was it like, wait?
No, this shrimp was, just waking up going, it's like in Rosemary's Baby when the devil's fucking her and she kind of wakes up because she took the drugged pudding and threw it away. And she's like, this isn't a dream. It's really happening. That's what the shrimp was doing, going, whoa, yikes, I got to get out of here. It was flopping around the table. And hurry, eat it. And it's like, oh, man, it's a very funny picture.
So head first.
Yeah, the whole thing just pop, and it's flopping around in there.
And the tail always tastes like plastic to me.
Oh, you haven't been to Noma.
That's true. They probably fix it up.
Something. And then Ryan and I had, I want to say like, there was a fish eye. We had a head of a fish.
Oh, Jesus.
There was an eyeball.
I could do cheeks and tongue, but the eyeball.
Eyeball was tough.
Too holy.
It was. Yeah. It's tough to think about, and but I've had some crazy shit. I was in Shanghai, and we did this to shoot it and for it to be a thing, but went to this restaurant that was recommended to us for this purpose of northern, I don't know what part of China, but northern Chinese, like, what's the word? Just like not home cooking, but the kind of food they would have, back in the day, right?
Okay.
And I had dog. I had bullfrog,
God, I can't do
which was
dog, man.
the nastiest. The dog was pretty good, actually. And so it was like traditional, mountain cooking or whatever. And earthworm soup. But the bullfrog, I want you to picture a frog, roughly the size of like a grapefruit, right? A big bullfrog. And all they did, they got a cleaver and they just hacked up this bullfrog, dumped it in a fucking bowl so that there's eyes and bone. I could not finish it at all. I didn't even get two.
I could do it. Doesn't taste. The legs probably don't taste like frog legs.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, it's like boiled soup. It was something you'd eat during the war to stay alive, but not like charging tourists money for it.
Yeah,
this is the crazy shit we used to eat.
Ugh. I'd write a bad Yelp review for sure.
This is pre-Yelp.
Oh, right. God, the dog.
Dog, yeah. That was the best thing that I ate, tasting wise. It felt bad. I felt very bad. And I had to drink a lot before I sat down to eat these things because I was the volunteer to do it. And I think I made a lot of noise about like, I don't see what the big deal fear factor is. It's just mind over matter, man. It's bugs, whatever. And but the bullfrog stew or whatever was fucking nasty. Hey, what is the best way to learn a language? Immersion. living where the language is spoken and using it every day. But if that's not in the cards this year, you can still learn a language the second best way, and that's with Babbel. Be a better you in 2024 with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel is designed by real people for real conversations. Access more than 13,000 hours of learning content and browse more than 20,000 classes offered every month. Babbel's tips and tools are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching so you're ready to practice what you've learned in the real world. When you're on vacation, it's so easy to learn how to order food, ask for directions, and speak to locals without having to consult language apps when you have Babbel. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/senses. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/senses. Spelled BABBEL.com/senses. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This isn't good podcast material, but I heard a piece of a story of Kristi Noem shooting her dog, and then I missed everything else. I don't know why she shot her dog or what
It
was
misbehaved. It was a puppy, I believe. I want to say 14 weeks, 14 months, something like that. It was young. It was a puppy, and she was out hunting, and
brought the puppy on
brought the
hunting?
puppy for whatever reason, and the puppy was acting like a puppy does, and was running around, and I guess as you might expect, upsetting the pheasants that they were hunting, and the birds were all scattering around, which is no good if you're trying to kill birds. And she wanted to kill birds, so obviously there are multiple options that don't involve aiming a gun at a puppy.
Put it in a bag.
Not killing, I guess.
Oh, right.
Is where
Put it
I
in
was
a bag,
going.
then shoot it, right?
And now here's the thing.
That's
That
bonkers.
is a horrific story. You don't even have to be a dog lover to go like, what the fuck? That's crazy. You shot a puppy that was just being a puppy.
Yeah.
You didn't take it to train it or anything or whatever.
And you brought a puppy on a hunting trip like a ding dong.
How about thinking it was okay to write that? You're trying to be the vice president.
That's the second juiciest part.
You're trying to be the vice president, and nobody, even conservative media, even Fox News, and
that's the clip I saw them going like, "Didn't you do the audiobook of this? Won't you say that this is a mistake? I'm not going to talk about the world leaders I met or the things I've done."
Oh, that's the other thing. She lied about meeting with Kim Jong-un, and
insane.
all right, that's a thing they always do. I mean, Republicans do that shit all the time. They just lie about shit and make it up, and then you catch them and they go, "Oh, maybe I didn't," whatever. The thing I think this is a good idea to put this story out about how I shot this puppy in the face.
What this makes me think of? She obviously had a ghostwriter. Russ had a ghostwriter. He may need to go through that book to see all the little nefarious stories they loaded into his book that he doesn't know about.
Well, they have the story about him shooting the lady who was selling mangoes or whatever, the chili lime mango things on the street, and he shot her because she was scaring the birds.
Too spicy.
Scaring the birds.
Too spicy and scaring the birds. He fingered a bird.
Excuse me?
I'm very excited to read that book.
I'm going to go back.
I don't know if you read the end of the book. A lot of juicy
didn't.
stuff in there.
Tell me about the fingering a bird story.
Oh, it's a magician thing. When I used to be a magician, there used to be a way to make the bird's wings come out when you were like, instead of just the bird being there like this, and you produce it to make the bird lift its arms up like the top of a flag, the little eagle on top.
I understand. I understand what you're describing, but so to get the bird to this magician's trick when they pull the bird out is to finger it.
It's a secret, but it's not really a trick. It's not illusion. You really have to go.
No, you have to. Is it where you? Is it the clit or what? What are you fingering?
I think it's called the perineum.
The perineum of the bird. Like the clitoris?
No, the perineum.
Right, but is it like a clitoris for a bird?
Oh my God!
What?
They're two different things.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Oh my God, David.
Go back to WebMD. Do you still have that? Pull up. Pull up
how to make a bird come.
Google bird clit ? Siri.
What if this is one of the bits I worked on, and I just pretended to come up organically?
Man, I learned something new.
Yeah,
I learned. And so, what's the perineum?
It's I think it's the thing that makes you, if you hit it, the secret button inside your butthole that makes you feel good. I don't know though.
You mean like when you're getting a prostate, or the old school prostate exam, and then they're trying to check you, but then you come.
When I had my first physical in high school, I thought when you turn your head and cough, and he was going to stick his finger in your butt. I didn't know it was just touching your balls a little bit.
Oh, to see if they rise.
Yeah, I was so nervous. I remember I was like, "Oh,
how'd you
man.
do? Did you get good marks?"
I was nervous that I remember wishing my dick looked good when my pants came down, and I was like, "Oh, I hope it's not like ocean soft." And
ocean soft.
Being nervous about that for sure. And then when he
so you know, it's a little cold in here, guys.
But then in the Army, they did stick something up my butt.
What was it?
Not a joke, a finger. I don't even know what that looks for.
For a prostate exam. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. And they just liked that. It wasn't even a doctor.
I liked it too.
It was not a doctor
You're fit to serve.
You're fit to serve. Let me get him.
Doesn't fit? Get him out of here.
Let me lube this up. And
not primed to kill.
Good. You're good.
Get him.
You, sir, are going to be jumping out of planes. All right, next butthole, get in here. Oh, no. You're a desk job for this guy.
Too small to murder.
That should be your gravestone. Too small to murder.
Ass was too tight.
Too small to murder.
In a special, I think you called it a starfruit, and I never shook that from my head.
Oh,
and I've never seen a starfruit in real life, but I imagine
you've seen there's starfruit, right?
I know what a starburst is, but
no, not the candy. There's literally a right. Isn't there a fruit called the star? Yeah, starfruit, and it's shaped not like a perfect star, but it's. I always think of it as a Star of David, so it's Israeli. What is going on in Israel?
Derrick,
give me your thoughts.
We need an international peacekeeping force that acts as judge and jury, like the referees at the border. If we don't get them in there, we're never going to solve it. How hard was that?
Yeah.
How hard was that?
Yeah. They a little something called the Oslo Accord. They tried it, but it was scuppered by Mr. Netanyahu and I think our people. had a little something to do with that.
Yeah. Do you ask every guest how would they solve the Israel-Gaza conflict?
No, I don't want it solved.
It's bad for comedy.
Yeah, it's bad for, I need the material.
Get Trump in there.
Yeah.
Joke.
Did you see the latest thing? Trump, not that this is any surprise at all. 6 years ago, this wouldn't have, would disqualify you. But he said to a bunch of auto exec guys, and not auto exec, sorry, oil industry guys at a fundraiser. He's like, you guys raise $1 billion for my campaign, and the first thing I'm going to do when I get in office is roll back everything Biden did, and I'm going to open up everything to drilling and all this. But he said to them, you have to raise $1 billion for me. Donate $1 billion to the campaign. $1 billion? And they're like, yeah, makes sense.
It sounds good. I like this guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
when you pay more for a meal, it tastes better.
Yeah. When you pay more for a president,
yes,
he
tastes better.
Jesus Christ.
Do you do several of these a day?
Do 2. I think I did 3 once, and I was like, that's too much.
Yeah.
So I do. The most I'll do is 2, and then the day's done. I actually have to do something after this, but then 2 tomorrow, and then 2 Saturday, and I'll be done. Then I go home.
And was XTC cool with this?
I was going to try to license the song, but it was like $50,000 or something.
Oh, Jesus.
So nothing I would pay for. So Mark Rivers does the music. He did it great. Have you heard it? The opening theme? It's great.
Yeah.
It's really good. There's a whole like minute and 45-second version of it. It's very, as he said, like inspired by Elephant Six type of.
You should do a very long musical intro instead of the traditional 10-second musical bumper to kick off a show. When we did All Tomorrow's Parties, do you remember John Glazer and John Benjamin when they came out? They started Play Baby Hold On to Me, and they came out for the whole song.
Yeah.
Just pumping up the whole audience, not starting their set until the song was over.
Yeah, that's very Benjamin.
I wish they
Glazer-esque.
still did that. That was so fun.
The Forget-A Buddies.
Yeah, the Forget-A Buddies, and they forgot their punchline that day.
Not intentionally.
Not on purpose.
No, it was, what was it? They were like in a clothing store or something.
No, it was that the main punchline they were supposed to get to was that the day their show fell on was September 11th, 2009.
Right.
And so they're like,
right.
Just to, we live in New York. We're New Yorkers. We're all New Yorkers. And they had this long, heartfelt speech, and it was supposed to end with them saying, "Never forget about it." And instead,
to let people know, they were playing these 2 guys that were like a comedy team called the Forget-A Buddies.
Yes, 2 New York comedy guys trying to creep up in the scene, and they were like 20 minutes overtime or something like that.
Yes,
and so someone was giving them the light, and so they're like, we're all New York. Oh, I guess we're out of time, and then they just got off the stage before they did their 28-minute setup for one joke, and then they didn't say the joke.
Yeah, that's very thin.
Pretty gold.
We used to do this thing. We did it a couple times at Bumbershoot in Seattle, the arts festival there, and we did. What was it? It was called. I think it was the thing that we were doing a parody of was something called Bumber Drum, and it was just people drum. It's like a drum circle, but they gave it a dumb name, and trying to get people to see their stupid drum circle. For peace. Sorry, it wasn't stupid. It was a drum
guys
circle.
Doing it.
No, this was a real thing they had. So we did Bumber keys, where we all took our keys, and you had to see the Bumber drum thing was, hey, people like passing it, physically kind of passing the beat and tempo to somebody else, and then they pick it up. People who can't drum, whatever. And so we did Bumber keys, Bumber. What was it? We had 3 things. Bumber keys. We all did our keys, and hey,
you got the whole crowd to get in a circle and do that. Okay.
No, we do it like the 3 of us, and then it was Bumber keys, then Bumber clap, and we throw it to each other, bum, 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 and then Glazer, hey, and then he throw, and we just did that. So we did Bumber clap, Bumber keys, and then Bumber phrase, which was each of us had a phrase like, I wouldn't go in there or whatever. And then we were strippers. We were patriotic, angry leftist
Patriotic
strippers. So it was mystery cat, pirate, and we just grabbed whatever thing,
Yeah.
some from like a CVS or something. And so there was like the green, I can't remember what it was. The green stranger, which was just like a green mask that Glazer had. And then there was pirate cat. And then there was something else. And then we did this whole rant about, the imperialism and colonialism of America and the blood on our hands. But we were stripping as well.
Sexy
It was
message.
pretty funny.
But people in Seattle there are a lot of smarties up there, but a lot of crusties too.
Mhm.
When you're doing the keys, were they like, fuck yeah, this is energy. This is the energy I dream of. Or were they like, they're spoofing us?
I don't know if the Bumber Drum people saw it, but
Oh.
I can tell you that Benjamin has a better angle of this, but because I wasn't quite aware of it until it was about to happen, but Benjamin was watching it. But when I was stripping, and it had like a G-string on, dick tucked in the little pouch and everything, and there was a guy there with his kid, and I was coming up, and I think because I had a mask on, I couldn't really see, but this guy was about to punch me, and Benjamin saw
Because
it.
you were in a Speedo in front of his child?
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, I was undulating too. Some
Towards his
thrusting
child.
going on. Well, towards the people.
Oh, right,
And I was
right.
like,
He's one
I
of
was
the
going
people.
up into the crowd,
Yeah.
but going like, America has blood on its hands, but also stripping. And he, and I kind of sensed it right at the very end, but I think Benjamin was watching the whole thing and like, oh, this guy's going to fucking wail on Cross.
Man, I wish it was like how breakdancers will call each other out, but the drummers came to push back against you guys and try and take over this. Was this on stage? Or out
Yeah,
in the
it was
crowd?
it was it was in a little theater, where they had all the comedy shows, or most of the comedy shows.
I wish I would have seen that.
And it was whatever theater has the raked audience, so you're below them, basically. It's like an amphitheater, but it was indoors.
Double door, two door, I forget.
Yeah, it's over by where they had the zines and all that stuff. Remember that area?
I only went once, but
Really?
just to watch. Yeah,
Oh, you should try to get in and do some shows there.
yeah. I'm trying for more.
Yeah, you
festivals.
should definitely do that. I don't. Did they still have Bumbershoot?
No.
Hmm.
Well, actually, I don't know.
God, that was the most fun. It was so much fun, man.
I think the big one now is down in Denver, High Plains. I think that's the
Hmm.
super fun one now.
Yeah, Bumbershoot was always so much fun. And we would just take over, And a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah.
I remember Zach Galifianakis. There was something about a fish. There was like we had a big fish and we kept sneaking it into each other's room, like toilet or luggage. It was like a fish from like a fishmonger's.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at Pike's Place.
Pranking each other.
Yeah, and the fish kept popping up in different places in the hotel.
I like when our conversation, which I don't mind a lull, I don't mind silence, when it slows down a little, you hear their keyboards over there kind of chill out as well. I wonder what that means. Mark that joke. Cut this out.
What are you guys doing when you're tip tap
Taking
tipping?
notes, assembly notes.
Cutting between the cameras.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
You didn't get me spilling on the couch, did you?
I don't think so.
Great.
But we'll
Did
note
you
it.
spill?
A little. I tried to cover it up.
What did you spill?
Just water.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but there was a empty string cheese wrapper that I was sitting on for the entirety of Andy Richter's.
Disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. It's juvenile.
Mm-hmm.
It's shameful.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gonna cut this out, so don't worry about that.
This is all going in. I haven't. I've never listened to or watched one of these episodes, but when I do the advertisements, do they leave in the jokes and the ad libs I do?
I think we walk a fine line.
Oh, that's bullshit. What are you pulling out?
What's your ad for this one?
I have no idea.
Do you want to ask Emma? She just got here.
Oh, what's Emma doing here? Is it because of the festival?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Emma!
Get your ass in here! We doing Geico?
She's talking to somebody. Oh, right, soundproofing, of course, because we're doing a podcast. Okay. That was weird. I thought maybe I died. And you know that thing where you're like, oh, they can't see me. Nobody's responding. Have you ever read The Third Policeman?
No.
That's great. By Flannery O'Brien.
Mm-mm. Have you ever read The Things They Carried?
Yes.
I love that.
It's a good book.
Can we do that for 10 minutes?
Sure. Have you read? You know what I'm reading now? I
Elizabeth Gilbert.
Who's that?
She did Eat, Pray, Love.
No, I read the other one, Pray, Love, Eat. And then I read Love, Love, Eat. And then I read Just Eat Already.
I've read Pray, Pray, Pray. That was very good, but boring.
Yeah, seems it. No, I'm reading Polish author Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. And it's really good. I started it on the plane and I'm like 110 pages in already. It's really good. I like it a lot. But for my birthday I got tons of books.
Yeah.
Some asshole gave me a dumb game, but
you sent me a thank you letter that sounded like someone else wrote it. That said, "Hey Derek, thanks for coming to my birthday. How did you come up with this crazy gift you gave me? Sincerely, David." It sounds like that went out to 50 people.
maybe
Is that an assistance?
No,
thank
never,
you letter? Okay.
never.
Were you like, I don't remember who gave me what? I was
you know what?
so
No,
drunk.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. I'm guessing, but because Derek Beckles was there, so it's you. And I got, and I don't know either of your handwriting.
Okay.
So I got, I was trying to figure out who gave me what.
Yeah.
And you and Derek both gave me Emma. Emma. Hi.
Hi, howdy. Hello.
What are you at? So you're out here for the festival? Mm-hmm. Okay. Can we do that again? But higher. All right, let's try it again, but higher next time, right? So, are you out here for the festival?
Yes.
No, that's not higher. That was lower.
Higher
Voice.
pitch. Oh, yes, like that.
Yeah. Are you out here for the festival?
Yes.
Very good. Emma, are you going to be at the? Will you be there at the taping?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
We'll all be there.
Oh.
We all love working on your show.
Oh.
Don't do that.
All right. Okay.
By the way, you got a little sad right there. At your birthday, you got sad, and no one could tell that you were fake sad. You have the best sudden acting sad cry I've seen from anybody.
What was it? Was it the thing about the Gaza?
Yeah. When you were talking about a dead friend, everyone's like, "Oh fuck," and you're like, "Oh, I thought that'd be funny." All right, but you're the tremble. You doing your voice? Can you do it?
So Bob used to call it the fish face. Like I would do the character and it just where you, hey man,
Yes.
the guy trying not to cry,
Yeah.
and
It's fucked up, man. It was very good.
what was I saying? Oh, I got a lot of books.
Yeah.
For which I'm quite happy with.
We're talking about books we love.
Can't go wrong with books and baseball cards. Actually, you can go wrong with baseball cards because my mom got me, and I told Wendy, I said, "Listen, I think Mom's going to get me some baseball cards for my birthday, and just make sure it just has to be either." And I give her a little,
Tops.
Topps Chrome, Bowman Chrome, and it has to be a hobby box. That's all. Anything, great, whatever. And she got me the opposite. She got me Topps Series 1. This isn't going to mean anything to people who don't collect baseball cards, but that's the stuff you get like for a quarter at Walmart, whatever. She got me a box, and as when he pointed out, it's your 60th birthday, and your mom spent $40
On the wrong thing.
I mean, they're nice cards. I like them, but it's not anything that interests me really.
I was dorkier. I did Garbage Pail Kids, Alf trading cards. I like that stuff.
Did you have wacky packages?
Wacky packages were
Wacky
really
packs?
fun.
Yeah, I love
with
those.
The fake tooth. What was the bazooka toothpaste? I forget, but yeah, I loved all those too.
Like Gatorade, but it's an alligator.
That's so weird.
And I loved wacky pack. I was just recommending books. Yes. I reread. I find that I've been doing more rereading, going back and reading books. Like there's a book I read every I don't know 5-6 years, and that's Masters of Atlantis. I'll just pick it up and read it again. But I started going, I'm gonna. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older or whatever. But I reread Independent People, which is a great book. And just finished and reread The Third Policeman, which is also one of my favorite books.
I love Maggie Nelson's Bluettes. Maggie Nelson's killing me right now. She's so good.
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
So yeah, I'll send it to you. Or I bet Amber has a bunch of them.
Yeah,
she's the best.
But I'm really into this Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead.
Such a good title.
And Anya, you read it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Olga, I was trying to remember the author. Olga Tokarczuk, I think.
Olga Tokarczuk. Very good. It's and laugh out loud funny sometimes. There's some really, like, I'm on the plane. You go,
Do people bug you on planes?
I just don't like people in general.
Yeah. I mean, not like do people.
I know what you
Is
meant.
there?
I know what you meant. Not really. No.
I've seen it happen in bars when we've been in bars.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, it's weird because sometimes I'll go a day or two and nobody says anything, and then you leave the house to run errands, and 40 people are like, yeah. I've had people stop their cars or trucks and sanitation trucks or whatever in traffic, like, and people are honking like, "Yo, dude!" Whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. And they're like riding along with you, and you're like, okay, thank you.
Do you remember when we were walking in Manhattan and a guy stopped you and said, "Hey, I saw you on Netflix"?
And I don't remember that.
And you're like, "Yes." He's like, "That's it." And he left. Do you remember that?
I don't, but that sounds.
He was just so excited that you did live in his little box, and he saw you in real life.
I was, this is recently actually, I was on the subway and a guy, it was pretty packed, and a guy, kind of goes through like 2 or 3 people to get to me and he's listening with headphones, something on his phone, and he turns it and it's this podcast with this logo thing on it. And he's like, weird.
And were you listening like going, and that is a good place to eat?
No, he had his headphones on.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. A podcast isn't the kind of thing you blast on the subway.
That's the next thing.
All right, Derrick, I thank you for coming down here. A treat as always. And now I end every show by asking my guest by asking my guest a question from Marlo.
I just looked in the camera like the Office episode, hoping that they'd cut to me when the trombone happened. Can I mention that I have a podcast called Party?
Plug whatever
I got a
you
thing
want.
called Party with Honor. It's all the mistakes I made trying to live life as an artist, or I've blown it. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Anything to what about the comedy shows in Burbank?
Got at the Nightcap, doing a show Tuesday nights called You Blew It, and then Thursday nights called Parliamentary Lights, a comedy debate show based on British Parliament's rules.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And what about any tours coming up?
Yeah, doing shows in Texas, in Houston, May 29th, and May 30th in San Antonio.
How did they go?
They were so good.
Oh, good.
Nice and cool. Nice and cool temperature, yes.
Oh, wow.
Everyone's in a good mood.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. Anything else coming up that will have happened by the time this airs?
Yes, I'll be playing the High Plains Festival, September 19th through 21st, and it went pretty good.
Okay. All right.
It's not coming out. They're going to be like, they talked about books for 20 minutes. I want tips. I want Mr. Show stuff. I want to know about Jason Bateman. This fucking guy and his White Sox. We don't get it.
Okay, so this question is from Marlo. Derrick. Do birds pee?
The perineum is a special part of the bird. It can help with orgasms. It can help with pee. If a bird kegels, it will pee, but it doesn't get to choose if it pees or poops.
Oh, unlike us.
Unlike us, you can't just say I feel like pooping and then go poop. A bird can only poop when it has to poop, and then it
I've
pees.
never seen a bird pee.
I guess you never owned doves and did magic shows.
No, I never did. Oh, wait, I did it for years. No, that wasn't me. That was somebody else.
Here's a real answer. I've never seen a bird take a big, thick dump. It's only been wet and runny.
Yeah.
So maybe it's all pee with a little bit of a clot in it.
What, white magic?
Yeah, a little white pee.
That's actually exactly right.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
She actually sent me a question for you.
Oh, uh-oh.
This is from Marlo as well.
I didn't know she had access to your number.
Yes, this might have been through mommy. And this doesn't have to be a funny answer, but why is daddy such a silly Billy?
I don't know her to say silly Billy.
Me neither.
She's been watching a lot of Bluey. Maybe they say silly Billy on Bluey. Is that an Australian or New Zealand?
But why?
Fucking pays the rent. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You don't like it. Move somewhere else.
Yeah, get your own, pay your own rent.
Goddamn right.
Get to work.
Yeah.
I get it. I'll text that to her.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Derrick.
That was a Headgum podcast.